Hey, this is Dr. Paul Martin with Brilliant Life Chiropractic. I thought I'd spend a little bit more time talking about inflammation. It's a big topic actually. I kind of just touched on the surface of it with acute versus chronic inflammation last time and gave a couple of tips about acute inflammation and what to do about it. In short, listen to your body, do what feels good. Listen, 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 because your body's trying to heal from something, and the best way to deal with that is to support that process. But what about chronic inflammation? As I said before or intimated last time, chronic inflammation is where things actually become more of a problem, right? Most of the diseases that, or a lot of the diseases that are afflicting our country in civilized society are chronic inflammatory diseases. And so what creates that, and what can we do about it? Now with the case of chronic inflammation, this is also not a great time to just take a whole bunch of anti-inflammatory meds. Inflammation is an important process, as I said last time, and it's important that we don't just squash it. We don't want to just keep it from happening. I had asthma for a long time and was given an anti-inflammatory steroid to control those symptoms, because asthma is at its heart an inflammatory disease. But that just left me more prone to lung infection. So anytime I got a cold, it would go into my lungs, I'd get a cough, and sometimes those would last for months at a time. So, what's the answer? The answer is to look at your environment, look at your lifestyle. Quite often the answer is, why are people getting these inflammatory conditions and chronic inflammation? It has to do with some kind of repetitive physical type stress or some kind of toxin that's affecting the body. Like for me with asthma, the answer was changing how I was eating. The foods that I was eating were creating a constant inflammatory response, making me more sensitive to other stressors and showing up as asthma. It's pretty simple, actually, when you think about it. And when I removed those foods, that made a huge difference in my overall asthma symptoms. So another example, the Whole30 diet is a great, very strict paleo program. And one of the inventors of that, his name is Dallas, he is a physical therapist, and he was suffering from a shoulder condition for a long time, had been dealing with it, at least this is what I remember from his website and his book. He was dealing with it with therapy, exercises, stretches, whatever he could think of, and I think he'd even received cortisone shots. And the thing that helped was switching to the Whole30 diet, which is at its heart a paleo diet, which they tend to be very I'm going to say anti-inflammatory, and I'll explain that next video. Very anti-inflammatory. So, and after switching, his shoulder pain went away. So inflammation is at the root of a number of chronic diseases that are affecting our society. Diet and exercise are two of the most powerful things that we can do to help control that and help us lead healthier lives. But it has to be the right kind of diet and the right kind of exercise. One of the big triggers for inflammation is the wrong kind of exercise, repetitive stress or overtraining. So that's what we do about chronic inflammation. Change the diet, exercise the right way, and a few other things. In the next installment of the inflammation series of videos, I will talk more about the things that we can do to make sure that the inflammatory response is effective and appropriate. All right, remember, you deserve a brilliant life. Let it shine.